They said the Minnesota Lynx were entering a transitional season. No one expected this. 6 games into the 2025 WNBA season, and they haven't lost a single one. A perfect 6-0 start, highlighted by dominant defense, elite perimeter shooting, and a level of poise that championship teams thrive on. What we're witnessing is not a rebuild, it's a statement. Meanwhile, in the desert, the Phoenix Mercury are quietly building their own narrative. After a rocky 2024 season filled with dysfunction and early exits, they've come out swinging in 2025. Sitting at 5-2, the Mercury have found new life under adversity. Injuries have stripped them of key veterans like Alyssa Thomas, and recently, leading scorer Kahleah Copper is battling her own health issues. But that hasn't stopped this team from grinding out wins and staying competitive in a tough Western Conference. On paper, this looks like a mismatch. The Lynx are undefeated and loaded with depth. The Mercury are hobbling into this matchup, missing some of their best players. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find a game ripe with drama, strategy, and storylines. Let's start with the Minnesota Lynx. They're not just winning, they're doing it in every conceivable way. Their offense is humming, led by MVP frontrunner Napheesa Collier. Before her recent knee injury, Collier was averaging nearly 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game. She's become the centerpiece of a team that has balance, vision, and confidence. Even with Collier sidelined or limited, the Lynx have rolled over opponents with the next player up mentality. Kayla McBride has been lights out from 3, shooting close to 48%. Her veteran presence is invaluable. When defenses collapse into the paint, she's been lethal from the perimeter. Alana Smith has provided a much-needed defensive anchor, averaging over 2 blocks per game and dominating the glass. Rookies and role players like Courtney Williams and Bridget Carlton have stepped up at key moments, showing this team isn't just about stars, it's about chemistry and culture. Defensively, the Lynx are elite. They're allowing just 78.7 points per game, good for third best in the league. They rotate well, they force tough shots, and they don't give up easy second-chance points. The commitment on that end of the floor is what separates good teams from great ones. Now let's talk about the Phoenix Mercury. Sitting at 5-2, they've overachieved despite a brutal injury list. Kahleah Copper, who is averaging over 24 points per game, is questionable for this matchup due to a lower body injury. Her availability is a massive X factor. When she's on the floor, Phoenix has a scorer who can attack downhill, finish through contact, and stretch the defense with timely mid-range jumpers. Napheesa Collier has stepped up in a huge way. She's averaging 7.1 assists per game and nearly 2 steals, all while defending the opposing team's best guard night in and night out. Collier brings leadership and tempo control, 2 qualities that have kept Phoenix in games when things get chaotic. But it's not just the stars. Players like Monique Okoa-Makani and Catherine Westbeld, both undrafted, have earned critical minutes. They've brought hustle, rebounding, and defensive energy. The Mercury are doing what smart teams do in the face of injuries. Adapt, trust their depth, and give younger players a chance to shine. Statistically, here's how it breaks down. The Lynx are averaging 84.8 points per game, ranking 3rd in the league. Their 3-point percentage? A blistering 37.8%, best in the WNBA. That combination of scoring and shooting has put opponents on their heels every night. On the other hand, the Mercury are no slouches offensively either. They're putting up 82.9 points per game, ranking 5th overall. But while they can score, their defense has been leaky. They're allowing 84.3 points per game, which puts them near the bottom third of the league. That's a problem when you're facing a team as efficient and composed as Minnesota. Another key stat? Assists. Minnesota is averaging nearly 21 assists per game. That tells us they're not just relying on isolation plays or hot shooting. They're sharing the ball, moving it side to side, and creating open looks through motion. Phoenix is right behind at around 20 per game, but their offense often breaks down when Collier is pressured or when Copper is off the floor. From a betting perspective, the numbers tell a very clear story. Minnesota is currently a 9.5-point favorite. The money line is set at minus 550 for the Lynx and plus 410 for the Mercury. The over-under for total points is sitting at 158. For those keeping track, Minnesota is 6-0 against the spread this year. That's not just luck, it's dominance. Phoenix has covered 4 out of their last 7 spreads, but 2 of those covers came in games they were trailing for most of the night. They've been scrappy. They've played with heart. But heart can only take you so far when you're outgunned, and Minnesota has more firepower on both ends of the floor. So what's the blueprint for each team? For Minnesota, it's simple. Play your game, control the pace, collapse the lane on drives, and force Phoenix to hit tough jumpers. On offense, keep moving the ball, get McBride early touches from deep, and push the tempo when the bench unit comes in. If Collier plays, even in limited minutes, she gives them a massive boost on both ends. For Phoenix, it's about survival and disruption. They need to muck up the game, force turnovers, attack in transition, and hope for a big night from Copper, if she's healthy. Cloud needs to be the smartest player on the court. Every possession needs to count. If they get behind early, it could get ugly fast. Looking at all the data, the matchups, the injuries, and recent form, the prediction becomes clearer. Phoenix has the heart, but Minnesota has the weapons. Final score prediction: Minnesota Lynx, 85. Phoenix Mercury, 78. The Mercury will battle. They'll show grit. But the Lynx are a machine right now. Even without Collier, they're deep, disciplined, and deadly. And if Collier plays, this one might not be close. That's why this game is so compelling. It's not just about standings or stats, it's about identity. The Lynx are chasing perfection. The Mercury are chasing respect. And when those two goals collide, you get basketball that goes beyond the scoreboard. Let us know what you think in the comments. Will Minnesota keep their perfect season alive? Or will Phoenix pull off the upset of the year? Hit that like button. If you're loving the WNBA content, subscribe for more deep dives like this, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown. We'll be back soon with more stories that live beyond the box score.